All right, chat, tier list time. Tier list time. All right, chat, let's get started. I'm going to preface this by saying this is an ranked hunter tier list, okay? This is if you want to climb from bronze to gold and beyond, okay? Gold to diamond, diamond to masters. All right, this is what this tier list is for. All right, this is not a competitive tier list. And let's get started. So, S plus is OP, S is above average, A is average, B is below average, C is dog shit. Okay, don't ever pick C. Now let's start off with a Musenkob. A Musenkob, where do we put him? One of my favorite guns, S plus. I'm just kidding. We're actually gonna put an AMC in S. Do you want to know why, chat? The important thing in ranked is to have pressure and to have wave clear pressure and kill pressure. And AMC has extremely fast clear on the buffs, extremely fast clear on the wave, and he's actually one of the hardest gods to gank. If you max his hives, you should max your hives as AMC. He's very lane dominant, very team fight dominant, very easy to farm the map when you get ahead. Literally max your hives and play him with any build, that doesn't matter, and you will dominate, I promise you. And he's very fast. He's insane. Yes, max hives first. Max hives first, and then come back to me if you doubt it. He is extremely top tier in ranked, and you will not be disappointed if you play him. Next up is Anhur. That's my boy. Anhur, S plus in ranked. Why? He has insanely strong clear, especially because of his passive. That gives him, I think, 20 flat pen. He's extremely dominant in lane. He is the best god, or one of the best gods to 1v1 with. He's decently hard to gank. Usually, he can kill junglers very easily. Level 9 is an insane power spike for him. You can pretty much 1v1 any other hunter in the game easily. And overall, he's just a fucking beast. Okay? Next. Apollo. Where do I want to put Apollo? Apollo's definitely up there, but I feel like if you're against a good ADC, you might get dumpstered in lane as Apollo. What do you guys think about Apollo? He has a lot of bad matchups. I'm going to put him in S. I'm going to put him in S. I'm going to put him in S. He's close to S plus. I think he's S plus in the jungle, in my opinion. I think Apollo's S plus in the jungle because you can global alt on cooldown and not fall behind. When you global alt as an Apollo in ranked, it could be very dangerous, especially if you don't get ahead from dual lane. And the other guy gets a wave, he gets your purple, he pushes your tower in. It's actually very dangerous. Also, in the 1v1, Apollo's not that strong against a lot of gods. He loses to Anhur, he loses to Medusa, he loses to Cupid, he loses to Kern, he loses to quite a few gods. Hou Yi. There's a lot of gods he loses to in the 1v1. And also, if the other ADC player is good, he can apply a lot of pressure on you, which makes it hard for you to actually use your ult effectively in the dual lane. If you get ahead on Apollo, though, you can definitely snowball the lane. But just because of the reason that he has a lot of bad matchups in dual lane, in the 1v1, I'll probably just put him S. In the jungle, though, 100% S+, but this is not a jungle tier list. In jungle, I would put him S+. Super OP in jungle. All right, next up. Apollo outtrades early. He does until level 5. Level 5, you know, if an Anhur jumps on you, a Medusa ults you and then combos you, you know, you don't outtrade those because your ult is kind of useless in those 1v1s. Who's next? Who's next? Artemis. Ooh. Ooh. Listen, if you want to climb rank, don't pick Artemis. Okay, she's got bad clear on the jungle. She's got no wave clear because her 3 does not hit the melees or the archers at the same time. She gets dominated by a lot of gods. She's very easily ganked. Don't pick her if you're trying to play ranked. Yes, there is the fringe cases where Artemis can pop off in ranked, but that is so rare. Okay, that is so rare and that is so dependent on the rest of your team. You're not going to do anything on your own. If your team's behind and you're playing Artemis, you might as well just like quit the game. Okay, if you want to carry ranked, it's all about the early game, all about the early mid game, all about winning the lane. Artemis is just not that god. Remember, this is a ranked tier list, not a competitive tier list. All right, next up. Who's next here? Cernunnos, my boy. He's really good. but he might just be A. Tempted to put him S. What do you guys think? A or S? Tough. This guy, Cernunnos, is a beast. The only problem is his dash is short range and he gets ganked a lot, or he can easily be ganked. Alright, we'll put him A. We'll put him A. Cernunnos is like, to me, he would probably be A+ if I had an A+. Cernunnos is easily one of the highest DPSing hunters in the game. He clears jungle very fast because of his passive. He wins a lot of trades because of his 1 and his passive. Extremely lane dominant god. Beats a lot of matchups 1v1. But the biggest problem, his most obvious shortcomings, is that he doesn't have a CC immune ult, which means he's very susceptible to ganks. And 2, his dash is very short range, so it's easy for people to stay with him, to stick with him after he dashes. And for those reasons, we're just going to put him in A, not S. So yes, you can snowball a game very easily. For example, if you see an enemy team comp that doesn't have a lot of gank potential or burst, where you think you can just out lifesteal them with your 1+ devos or something like that, and he could definitely carry games. But again, because he doesn't have good survivability, we're gonna have to put him on A here for ranked. You have to put him on A. Edit the tier. No, it's okay. This is fine. This is fine. We're not going super specific for him. Chiron, bro. What's my record on Chiron this year? I think it's like 10-1, right? S+. Chiron is actually a sleeper, dude. I don't know. Chiron's actually a sleeper. I'm tempted to put him S. He's easily one of the biggest sleeper gods in the game. Bad if you lane against it. Why? Chiron actually shits on Serb. Man, this is tough. He would be an A+. I'm gonna put him. I would put him A+, but we don't have an A+. I'm gonna put him S. I think I'm gonna put him S. Yeah, if I added an A+ tier, I probably need like a. Yeah, I'm gonna add an A+ tier. I'm gonna add an A+ tier. There's a lot of gods that are like in between. How do I create one? Oh, add tier. All right. So for Chiron, he has average clear in the jungle. His jungle clear is just average, but he has one of the strongest level 2s in the game. Okay, his 3. If you clear evenly with someone else and you just 3 at the enemy ADC and you have his steroid with his 3, your autos are hitting for 70+ damage, then you knock him back as displacement, which is very strong ability, especially against supports that don't have escapes, like a Ymir or like a Cerberus that's level 1 still, or Cerberus that gets his 1 and 2 at level 2 instead of his jump. He actually has one of the strongest level 2 plays in the game. His recently buffed passive is insane for the early fights, and he has a CC immune ult. He's decently difficult to gank. His ultimate gives him a lot of presence in the late game team fights, especially if your comp is diving and you can ult the backline. Very strong. Good sustain with his passive. Pretty dominant in lane, to be honest. When you 1v1 against a Chiron, you have to make sure you can kill him and maintain at least half your HP. Because if a Chiron ults and kills you, he comes back to life. So it's actually very difficult to box a Chiron. Yeah, and again, because of his buff passive, he's very strong in lane. So I'm gonna put him A+ for sure. Next up, Chernobog. Dude, these are so close, man. You can see him going. Oh, not Kronos. You know, Chernobog. He's really good, but it also just depends how his early game goes. I'm going to put him S. I'm going to put him S with Apollo. Chernobog he can lose lane. It just depends, really. Chernobog actually has exceptional clear in the jungle if you start with his 2. You clear the red very fast with your mid. You get to the purple faster. You get to lane early, and his passive actually helps him clear quite well. So he can do well in lane. And really, what it comes down to with Cherno is if he has a quality support player with him. if you're like Chernobog Geb, then Cherno's like an A tier god. But if you're like Chernobog and Cerberus or Chernobog Ares, Chernobog Sylvanas, Chernobog Ymir, he's an S tier god. He actually has a lot of damage level 3 if you have 2 points in your 1 and 1 point in your 2. He has very good follow-up off CC. He has a global ultimate to get to team fights, an insane steroid for the late game as well. And if you do max the 2, you actually kind of out-trade a lot of other early game hunters. So, it's tough though. It's tough though. Really, this god depends on your support. If your support can get you out of the early game, and you don't have a low pressure support, you have a more aggressive support that can get you out of the game, he's definitely S. If you're playing with a Geb or some other shit support in ranked, he's probably like an A. But we're gonna go S because I think majority of the time you're gonna have a more aggressive support. All right, that's good. Cupid. Ooh, Cupid. Cupid's an interesting one, man. Cupid has fallen off the totem pole. I feel like Cupid has fallen off the totem pole in my opinion. He just seems so slow. Cupid's a tough one. He does win a lot of matchups, but he's also easily ganked in ranked in my opinion. No CC immunity. His dash it's a little bit better than Cernunnos. You know what? We're gonna put him A+. I'll put Cupid A+. Cupid has a good jungle clear, right? He gets the lane relatively early. His clear is decent, depending if you can stack up the wave or not. His fight is very good, but a big thing that hurts Cupid, especially in ranked, is how easily he's ganked. He has no CC immune ult. His ultimate doesn't really stop a lot of gankers in their tracks. And what else can I say about him? He actually has quite a few bad matchups as well, like into Anhur, Medusas. Even Chiron he's not that great into. So AMC he's not that great into either. Definitely Cupid from ahead can dominate, but he's definitely easily ganked. And I think in ranked, being easily ganked is pretty detrimental to your ability to carry the game. You don't understand the AMC placement? Play AMC and max your hives, bro. AMC is literally one of the most dominant lane gods in the game. And he's actually very hard to gank because you're so fast. He'd be really good because of Rama. That had nothing to do with Rama. He was really good because healing was OP and Cupid had hearts. And Cupid was very good in the lane. All right, let's go next. Danza. He's either A+ or A. I might have to go with A. We're going to go with A on Danza here. Danza has okay clear in the jungle. He's good in the lane as long as his support has decent CC. He has good follow-up. Biggest thing is now, though, if Danza ever falls behind, he's pretty much like chopped meat for the enemy teams. A lot of people are learning how to juke his ult. It's actually very easy to juke his ult. If you don't know how to juke his ult, what's it called? You can watch some videos that I have juking his ult all the time. He's easily ganked by walls. Ymir, what's it called? Kabrakan, very good into him. Guan Yu, very good into him. He loses matchups against Anhur, Medusa, Hou Yi, very strong into him. And in the 1v1, as long as you know how to juke his ult, he's actually kind of useless. Because he can never hit you with his 1, he can never hit you with your 2, as long as you are a decent player. Very easy to juke. So, and from behind, he's pretty terrible. So, with all those things said, I'll probably put him in A. As people learn how to play against Danza, you'll understand this more. But if you're still kind of new against Danza, or you don't really understand, or you don't even know the juke of his ult, then he might seem a little bit stronger to you, but in reality, he's about average. About average. Okay. Next up, Hachiman. My baby Hachiman, man. Oh, it hurts me, chat, because I love Hachiman so much. I love Hachi. Hachi is literally my favorite god in the game. But his jungle clear is low. His lane pressure is low. One of the biggest things he's got for him is that his 2 can hit the whole wave. He's pretty relatively safe, but he doesn't really dominate any matchups. Yes, he can do good only if his team helps him. If his team helps him out a bit and he gets a little bit of a lead, he can snowball. You definitely can't snowball with a little bit of a lead. He has good all-in. However, Hi-Rez also nerfed the alt into dash combo. Now you alt, and you have to wait a little bit after the alt's over before you dash. And gives the enemy player time to react, to jump away, to beads, pre-beads, and things like that. So his 1v1 definitely got nerfed a bit with the delay from his alt into using another ability. The things he's got going for him is that he can play safe against almost any matchup, but it's hard for him to get ahead on his own. He needs a lot of help. And yeah, man, he's just a little bit worse. Last year I'd put him in A. He's just an average god that doesn't have really any bad matchups, but doesn't do really that well into anyone either. I would have put him at A last year, but because they nerfed his post-fire off the alt, where you can't use another ability right away, I'm going to have to put him in B. He's just lacking. He's just lacking right now. It pains me to say because he's my favorite god in the game. All right, next up, we got Heimdallr. Heimdallr, my boy. I played him a lot last year. Heimdallr he's almost S+. If he had a better, he would be S+ if he had a better all-in. His all-in is quite difficult because it's pretty easy to just keep your distance from Heim. He has no way to force the issue. Yes, you can port into them, but it's so obvious when you're trying to port into them. If the other player has any experience at all, he knows if your 3 is right there and you're about to walk into your 3, you're going to 3 in front and try to port to him, right? And they just walk away. So if you're playing against noobs, though, that could be a very strong entry point, but otherwise it's very hard for Heim to all in other gods. One thing that Heim has going for him is that he always gets the lane first. If you're new, start with his 3, put your 3 on the purple buff and then go to red, and then do the red with your mid, you know, auto 3, auto, and then teleport out to the purple, and then you will get to lane first and you'll have pressure. Very difficult to gank as long as you have good crystal placement. Heimdallr is only as good as how good you are with his 3, his crystals. His crystals is his playmaking, his crystals is his safety. So if you're good with his 3, he's S. If you're not good with his 3, he's probably like very low. Yeah, he's decent in lane, decent clear in the on the wave, decent clear in the jungle. Very hard to gank, and he's very good late game, and he's good throughout the game. Just overall, a really solid pick. Pretty much no weakness, but just because it's very hard to solo the other hunter as Heimdallr, unlike Anhur, it's so easy to solo the other hunter, right? You literally just dash in, they dash away, you pillar, you ult, they're dead. And but that's just not the case with Heim, so we're gonna put him S. If he had a better all-in, I'd probably put him S+ for sure. Okay. Who's next? Hou Yi. I'm gonna put Hou Yi. He's either A or A+. I'm gonna go A+. Hou Yi has very good clear in the jungle, right? He gets the lane relatively quickly. Why he's not S is because he has no CC immunity in his ult. He's decently easy to go on in team fights, especially if he's just even with the front line. He actually can get bopped pretty easily by the front line. No CC immune ult, like I said, but what strengths he has is that he's insanely easy to 1v1 the other hunter with. You mark, you jump on them, it knocks them up, you stun them, and then you either ult them right away if they don't have an escape, or you just auto them because they're already half HP and they're behind you in the DPS, right? So Hou Yi always has the initiative when it comes to the 1v1. And that's why I'd probably put him A+ instead of A. But his survivability is lacking a little bit. That's why he's not S, and he has no CC immune ult, and that's another reason why he's not S. And also his wave clear is just decent. Good in the jungle, but only okay in the lane. So we're going to leave him A+. Next up is my girl, Izanami. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about that? Remember, this is a ranked tier list. This is not competitive. This is a ranked tier list. If there was an S++, that's where she'd go. Listen to me, chat. Izanami in ranked is S++, okay? The reason being is she has decent jungle clear, okay? But she has the most insane wave clear known to mankind. And let me tell you one thing about ranked players, okay? About your average ranked player. Your average rank player does not know how to give up stuff. Your average rank player does not know how to give up pressure, bide their time, and wait till they're stronger than the Izanami. No. You know what they do? They try to clear the wave as you're AoE autoing them in the wave at the same time, and they're half HP and they don't know what happened to them. That's what happens in your average rank game, okay? And that is why Izanami's OP. Izanami will literally out-clear by a mile. You'll probably out-poke them because they're going to try to fight you. They're going to try to not let their wave go into tower because they're donuts. All right? And you'll probably get the first purple. She has the best steroid in the game in her 1. Her ultimate actually is very strong, does a shit ton of damage. She has an insane 1v1, especially if you get ahead. Her escapes are decent, and to be honest, she is prone to getting ganked, but you'll probably get so far ahead in the early of the game that it won't matter. So, like I said, this is a ranked tier list. If you're trying to climb the rank scenes in competitive, Izanami's like a B. But in ranked, she's an S+ because no one knows how to give stuff up. No one knows how to lose 2 waves, and then on the second wave, when you both hit level 3, you jump in on her and you kill her because you just out damage her, right? Like Anhur or like anything. Or, you know, if she's pushing you at your tower line, your jungler has a brain and rotates to your lane and ganks her, right? You know, those kind of things don't exist in ranked, and that is why she is S+. And that is why she is S+ in ranked. Okay, next up, Jing Wei. I think I'm going to be putting her either A or B. The only reason why I might put her A is because her late game is just really good. But her early game sucks ass. But her late game's insane. She would probably be a B+ if I had a B+. Should I make a B+? I'm going to make a B+. I'm making a B+, I don't care. Jing Wei is a B+ god. Wait. Okay. I had B+ lower than B. Okay. So Jing Wei has decent clear in the jungle. She gets the lane relatively quickly. But the reason why she's not that good in ranked is because she is not lane dominant. She loses pressure against most matchups. And in ranked, the early game is pretty much the most important thing there is. However, if you do get to mid game or late game, Jing Wei really pops off. But again, you know, against like an Anhur or literally any god above this, she can get bullied out, lose her purple in the 1v1 very easily. The only thing she's got going for her is her safety. So I wouldn't really recommend her. You can carry ranked, yes, but it's not as easy as it is for the gods that are above her right now. So yeah, I would say, you know, definitely play her if you like her. Just know that, you know, you probably gonna have to take a mid game to late game. And of course, her passive is very good to farm like back harpies and to get the lane faster if you get poked out and things like that. All right, next up, Medusa. I might have to put her A. Because remember, I'm thinking in the context of ranked. You know, if I was making a competitive tier list, this list would look so different. Thinking in the context of rank, Medusa is very insane 1v1. Yeah, I think I might put her A+. I'm gonna put her A+. She has average clear in the jungle, but she has very good lane presence. Her 2 can clear the wave and poke the enemy hunter at the same time. Her ultimate does the same. Her all-in is very insane. Her burst is very good in the 2v2, especially at level 2. Her 2 and her 3 at level 2 do a combined over 200 damage. And so that's very strong. She has a bit of an issue surviving, but she does just so much freaking damage that it might not even matter, especially in your average rank game. So we'll probably put her A+. Not quite S because, again, she has survivability issues. But we'll put her A+ because she also dominates the lane and she has very good 1v1. She's also very hard to hit because of her passive. No movement penalty as she strafes, so she's actually very difficult to hit. Okay, next up, Neith. Neith, I'm probably going to put B+. I think I'm going to put Neith B+. She's almost A, but not really. I'm going to put Neith B+ because she's average in the jungle for jungle clear. She gets the lane at an average time. Her wave clear is decent. Her poke is decent. Her 1v1 is decent. But again, she's so unsafe. Even though they buffed her backflip where it's faster, it's still so telegraphed that it's so easy to follow. And people can play off her backflip very easily. She has no CC immune ult. So she's basically just Cernunnos, but a little bit weaker, and that's why she's B+. And in the late game team fight, she really suffers from that backflip. One thing that makes her, you know, not a B is that her ultimate can affect the whole map. And she has pretty good lane pressure. Her 2 allows her to box very effectively. Her 2 is like an Ikeval, an old Ikeval. So well, she's pretty good. Oh, I don't know. Maybe an A? B or A? B+ or A? Chad, what do you think? I think she can go both. Probably B+. She's just slightly less than a Cernunnos Danza, in my opinion. Because of the no, you know. But Danza, I mean, Cernunnos doesn't have no less CC, but he's just better in the boxing. Better in the 1v1. We'll do B+. We'll do B+. And she has very easy counters. All right, who's next? Rama. Where's Rama? Rama's probably one of the most underrated hunters right now. He barely gets played anymore, but he's still really good. I think the next patch, when there's the tree foliage gets reduced as the higher you climb when you ult, there will be no trees blocking your sight. He'll be up there. He's so good, yet also he's. But in ranked though, that's the thing we're talking about. Ranked, I might put him A. He's either A or A+. He's actually very strong in lane too. I'm gonna put him A because he's not as dominant in the 1v1 as these other gods are. I'm gonna put him A. I'm gonna put him A, chat. Why? Because he has only average clear in the jungle, but he has a lot of pressure in lane because of astral arrows. He clears. He out-clears almost everybody except for like Izanami. Also just depends if he gets to lane at a good time at the same time as the other hunter. He is very good at boxing, especially at level 9 when he's maxed out his astral arrows. You only got to get people to like half HP at level 9 before you can kill them with his ult, because his ult actually does a lot of damage, especially at level 9, level 2 ult. Biggest problem for him though is he's basically only an auto attack god. He doesn't really have any abilities to follow up off CC, so he doesn't do that well with other pressure supports. His skill potential is rather low. However, he can be very strong in the 1v1. It's easy to get ahead with Rama because he out clears so quickly, and then he can go into the jungle and get farm. His late game is very, very strong because his ultimate does like 1,000 damage. If somehow you manage to get some flat pen in his build, like an Aussie or something like that, his ult actually does 1,000+ damage to any backliner. So he can affect a fight. Like if, for example, if an enemy frontline blinks on him and he ults and your frontline blinks on the enemy, the chances are the enemy backline is dead because of the help of Rama. It does a shit ton of damage. So we're going to put him A. We're going to put him A. He's not quite as dominant in the lane as Chiron, Cupid, Hou Yi, Medusa. But he has a lot of other things going for him. And he's also decently easy to gank, especially if he gets no help. So we're gonna leave him at A. Leave him at A. All right. What's next? Next, ooh, Skadi. I might have to put Skadi S. I might have to put Skadi S for ranked. I might have to put Skadi S for ranked, boys. I have to put her S for ranked. No, she's definitely not C. She's one of the most dominant laners in the game. Impossible to 1v1 for any hunter. Bro, play Skadi into Danza in ranked and watch what happens. You'll literally dominate him. You guys are just blinded by your new god blinders. You'll see. You'll see. You guys are blinded. Danza's just average. A little bit, maybe slightly above average in comp, but in ranked, he's just average. All right, I think we're going to put Skadi S. And the reason being is her clear is good in the jungle. Her lane pressure is absolutely oppressive. Almost as strong as Izanami and Anhur. She literally does not lose any 1v1 matchup as long as you're not a donut. She can get ganked decently depending on the enemy comp, but you know, if you have wards and you put your ice down to get that extra movement speed, she's similar to AMC. The only thing is AMC is constantly faster than Skadi is. Skadi, you need her 3 cooldown, and I basically put her on par with AMC in terms of like what she does in lane. She literally dominates lane, out clears everybody, out pokes everybody, out fights everybody pretty much. Can get ganked, but she can be decently safe. She has a root and a slow, and her ice is really good to get away from ganks in ranked, especially when teams are not coordinated. And she actually does pretty well into team fights as long as she doesn't get focused hard. But again, basically when I say you know, ranked, like my biggest criteria in ranked right now are the early game, mid game kind of thing. I don't really take into account super late game because most ranked games end in 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Rarely do you see them go super late. And even if it does go super late, most frontline are not coordinated. You wouldn't see like you wouldn't see a support get the Skadi's beads and all of a sudden the warrior and the jungler blink on her right after, right? You just don't see that in ranked. So I think she's actually relatively safe in that aspect. And like I said, she's extremely dominant in the early game. So I'm gonna put her S. I maxed my one first on Skadi, then her 2, then her alt, and then her 3. Okay, next up, Ullr. Probably gonna put him B. I'm almost tempted putting him C. Almost tempted putting him C, to be honest. Just, I don't know. I'll put him B. The reason why I put him B is he can run a game. He has decent cleared the jungle. See, the reason why Season 8 hurts Ullr, chat, is because of the starter items, right? It's like, you got to get a starter item, so it kind of delays his overall pen builds. 2, he's actually a very unsafe hunter because he doesn't have any CC immunity. The one thing that made Ullr stand out 2 years ago was that he just did insane amounts of damage at level 2. He would just dominate the lane at level 2, snowball his lead. Anyone that comes into lane, because he's ahead, he would just one-shot you with his 3-1 combo. But Hi-Rez nerfed his damage, and now he just doesn't do enough damage to do anything, right? And because of that, he's just not strong. He's very unsafe. Like I said, no CC immune, no real ultimate ability. He's just pure damage. He's like a Merlin. If you take away Merlin's damage, he's useless. You take away Ullr's damage, he's useless. And that's basically what happened here. He doesn't really have a good build path anymore, where it's like, damn, you know, 3 items, Ullr just outtrades everybody. You know, it's just not true anymore. Hunters that go Devos, Death Toll, just outtrade him. They don't care about his poke. Ullr will 3-1 them for 200 and 150, and then they just heal it up on the next wave, and they're back to full HP. So he's not as dominant as he was before. He doesn't do as much damage as he did before. He's not safe, and because of those things, he's just, you know, he's almost not pickable in my opinion. He's almost not pickable. So we're gonna leave him B because, you know, there are those fringe cases where you do dominate with Ullr and you feel good about it, but it's very rare. It's very rare. Okay, what's next? Do we only have 1 hunter left? No way. Is that all the hunters? Can we get some more hunter releases? Hi-Rez, please. We only got 1 hunter left. Xbal. The boy. Xbal, before they buffed his 2, I would say he was B. But now that they buffed his 2, I think he's B+. I think I'm going to go with B+. Because he's actually, the buff 2 is actually a very good poke now. Because you can hit two darts relatively easily, even at decent range. And so 1, he has good jungle clear because of his 1. 2, he has good lane presence because, again, we're talking about average ranked. In average ranked, a lot of people don't know how to like stay away from his bolas. They're like, oh, his bolas, I gotta run away and let him out clear me. You know what I mean? In top level ranked games or SPL, you know, bolas are not a problem. But in a lot of the games, in your regular ranked games, a lot of people are like, how do you deal with Xbal and his bolas? You know, a lot of people don't know how to do that. And so they just let Xbal out clear them. So that's 1. 2, he has a very good steroid for the late game. He has decent lane presence. His 1v1 really isn't that good because he doesn't really have anything to threaten the other ADC with an all-in. You can 2 as a Xbal and the other ADC like dashes away and then Xbal dashes after him and then you get a couple autos off and then he just walks away, right? His all-in is just not that potent. The damage isn't there, but he has decent lane presence. He has a great late game. He's relatively hard to gank, and his ultimate is a very good teamfight ult. Although you don't really get a lot of value in ranked from his ult because you need to be pretty coordinated to use that time to get a really strong teamfight. And so yeah, he's like decent in lane, okay late game. Doesn't really have great 1v1 potential. He also has a pretty decent counter matchups. All these gods that are above him can solo him relatively easily. Even Neith can solo him pretty easily, but you know, she's still B+ because of all the things we said before. So we'll probably just leave him B+. He has potential, just not quite there yet. His kit is just not that good. That's really what it comes down to. His kit is just not that good. So I'd say that's pretty much it. Yeah. So is there any other hunters we missed? I think that's all the hunters. I think that's it, boys. I'm not doing magic. This is a hunter's ranked tier list. All right, guys, take a screenshot, share it with your friends. Feel free to argue. Feel free to make comments about it. But this is my ranked tier list. This is my ranked tier list. Save it, share it, frame it, burn it, whatever you want to do. This is my ranked tier list. What's the biggest thing that you guys disagree with here? Danza. Okay, what makes Danza so good in your opinion? What makes Danza so good in your opinion? I'm curious. You're in lane against another ADC. What does Danza do so well in the lane that makes the other ADC be like, oh, you know, I'm worried about the Danza. I can't do anything against Danza. But what about it? His 1 is extremely slow. His 2 is extremely slow. Literally impossible to hit freehand if the other guy's not an absolute donut. What about it? What about Danza is so good? Tell me. Danza is safe. Danza doesn't even have an escape. His 2 taunts. Who are you going to taunt in lane, bro, if you don't have setup? Tell me. Above average damage. I don't think he has more damage than these gods. You guys are just clueless, man. Well, I'm not going to say clueless. That's mean. You guys are just like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Just because he's a new god, maybe. I'm not saying Danza blows or anything. He's decent, but he doesn't do much on his own. Especially if he doesn't have a lead. And also, if the other ADC is good at juking Danza ult, the Danza is just like, he's just there. He just exists. Izanami's bad in competitive, Carlo, but not in ranked. Not in your average ranked game. Izanami is just extremely dominant in lane. Best steroid in the game. Insane clear. Easy to snowball with, especially in your gold, diamond rank games. You see, so many of your guys' arguments about Danza is like, you read me his kit. Like, I know what his kit does. But how does it do well in the game? Here's another one. It just seems great. Like what's great about it? Neith potentially could be higher. Yeah, Neith could potentially be higher. I agree with that. See, these gods in S, they can force the issue very well. They can, they have really good poke. Or like Chernobog, for instance, he just has really good presence around the map. He can easily clear alt over instantly and join a team fight, right? You think Danza's S in comp? Nope, definitely not. If Kern's alt was CC immune, he'd definitely be probably A plus S. Yeah, I don't think anyone would do a competitive hunter tier list that's in the Xbalanque, because then you know exactly what they value. Put yourself at a disadvantage. Yeah, he does. Mike, can't wait for that patch. I'm gonna play Rama a lot when the patch hits on Tuesday, for sure. Bro, I'm so excited. This is gonna cause so much fucking talk and drama, dude. Like, what do you think of Zap's tier list? It's gonna be so funny. I mean, Hachi wasn't here. Hachi just doesn't do anything very well. They nerfed his combo of alting into dash, so his 1v1 is weaker. So he's just below average. He doesn't do anything really that well. Medusa stronger than Skadi? Nope. Skadi will fucking murder a Medusa. Skadi takes away the strongest part of Medusa's kit, her 1. Because the dog eats all her poison autos. I build Medusa. I build all the hunters the same. It's just Devil Gloves. Any Devil Gloves build. No DJ, but I put more emphasis on the early mid game than I do the late game in ranked. AMC escapes the gank by having fucking 600 movement speed with max hives. And the fact that he doesn't have to sit there and clear. He could just 2-3 and then run away instantly with his super fast movement speed when you max hives. Very hard to gank. Can't use to Anhur. Anhur, I don't know. I guess he's a little bit difficult, but he is... You should definitely play him a lot. He is so fucking good right now. Hou Yi? Yeah, maybe Hou Yi can be moved down to A for sure. I agree with that. He could definitely be A. Alright, guys. That's it for the tier list. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you enjoyed, boys. Now let's get into rank. Maybe we play an AMC game so I can put money where my mouth is.